Objection! One day we'll get through this game. Alright, it's getting good. That wasn't so good. Let me brush my hair so it doesn't itch like it's gonna itch. Okay. February 9th, 9:47 a.m., District Court. Oh my Mr. Larice feels that way about me? Apparently, he isn't aware of your real secret at all. This is no time to be embarrassed. I'm sorry. I'm just hardly accustomed to that sort of thing. Worry not, and in any case, whatever it was that he saw on the night of the incident, mark my words, I will drag it out of him. Does that mean Mr. Lawrence is a witness today? No. I believe that none will be the first to take the stand. Sister Bikini. She claims to have seen the very instant in which you carried out the crime. I just want to ask you one last time. It really wasn't you who killed Miss Elise Dunim, correct? That is correct. It wasn't me. Very well, then. Mr. Edgeworth? Yes? You're a prosecutor, aren't you? Are you sure about this? If your true identity is revealed. Don't worry. I made the necessary arrangements. I see. Iris. It is a prosecutor's job to doubt people. Well, right now, I am a defense attorney. A defense attorney's job is to believe in people, and to believe until the bitter end. That's what my friend told me once. Mr. Edgeworth. I simply ask that you watch and decide for yourself whether or not I am fit to do the task I've been entrusted. Very well, sir. I leave my defense in your capable hands. 10 a.m. District Court. Oh, we're getting Mr. It looks like he has braids, even though I know he doesn't, but it looks like he might have braids. I don't know, we don't see him from the back. Court is now in session for the trial of Sister Iris of Hazakura Temple. Defense is ready, Your Honor. The defense does indeed appear to be ready. However, the same cannot be said for the prosecution in this case. Indeed. I'm not sure I like such a blatant waste of this court's time. An empty prosecutor's chair can only mean that the prosecutor has no confidence in their ability to prove their case. It would seem this case is already over before it had a chance to begin. I am ready to announce my verdict at this time. This court finds the defendant. Oh no. The prosecution stands ready. And you are? Franziska von Karma, prosecuting a prodigy. But von Karma, you say? Perchance you wouldn't be any relation to the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. Legends are a thing of the past. I am a von Karma, that is all. Upon a special request, I flew in today for the purpose of prosecuting this case. You did. Then you must be quite the big shot, eh? By the way, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. I'm almost certain that I've seen you somewhere before. Or am I just imagining things? You look very much like a prosecutor I met once. I believe you are imagining things, Your Honor. Miss von Karma, do you have anything to say? There is no such weakling as this man among those at the prosecutor's office. There isn't, but I'm sure once before in this courtroom. Ach, I told you there is no such weakling. What is that, a whip? I'm not sure I care for such things in my courtroom. But bailiff, remove that whip at... Hold it! I have no objection to the whip. You don't? See, I like this judge. He doesn't put up with shit. The prosecution can wield a whip or drink 17 cups of coffee, but there is still only one truth. That is what I stand here to prove today. This promises to be interesting, Miles Edgeworth. I had expected to face Phoenix Wright here today, but looking at you now, maybe this is what I have been waiting for all this time. Miles Edgeworth, I will not allow this chance to crush you I will not allow this chance to crush you slip through my fingers. I see you brought your flair for the histrionic. Allow me to add to the things I'm not sure about. People acting bizarrely in my court. The stage is set. Now continue with the proceedings, Your Honor. Very well. Miss Von Karma, please give an outline of this case, with as little whipping as possible. The murder victim is the famed picture book author, Miss Elise Dunim. Her body was found in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. She had been stabbed through the torso by a ceremonial sword from a golden statue. The sword in this picture is the weapon in question. Correct, Your Honor. Very well. The court accepts this photo of the crime scene. There was no mistake. This was the doing of Sister Iris. After all, there was a witness to her crime. Very well. Please bring this witness to the stand. And so it begins. My first and last trial as a defense attorney. Good luck, Miles. Ma'am? Witness, state your name and occupation, please. Hold on there. I'm not sure about being not so... I'm not sure about being not sure if I care for this at all. Witness, please stand up nice and straight. If I recall correctly, there are a few milk crates in the defendant's lobby for our back pain plague witness. Bailiff, fetch a crate for this poor lady, please. She looks so pissed. There we go. Once again, your name and occupation, please. Little old me. Well, I'm the head nun of the Hazakura Temple at Eagle Mountain. I don't remember her voice. My name is Bikini. You got it? Bikini. Nice to meet everyone. But you don't appear to be wearing a bikini right now. The courtroom is the garden of holy judgment. Those with lechery in their hearts should leave this sanctuary at once. You want me to leave? No need to get your bikinis in a twist. Let me tell you, I'm a sight to behold in summer. In any case, witness, I hear that you saw the crime take place on the night in question. That's right. I can still hardly... Why is this on me? I can still hardly believe it myself, to be honest. There's no way dear little Iris could do anything like that. Let us hear what you have to say then. First, tell us about... Tell us about your movement then. Are we Canadian? What are we? That night I was helping an acolyte with her training in the inner temple, but, well, as you can see, my back likes to act up violently. So I left Iris to help the acolyte and returned to Hazakura Temple. There's no bath in the inner temple, you see, and I needed a long, hot soak. It was after I had finished, just as I was heading back. That's when I saw it. So it was simply coincidence that you found yourself returning to Hazakura Temple? Itchy neck. No, it can't be behind me. I'll pull it. Yes, you could say that. If my back hadn't been in so much pain, I would have stayed in the inner temple. That sounds like a pretty important statement she just made. Let me keep my shirt up. There is only one problem with the testimony that I can see. And you're not about to fall at the first hurdle, now are you, Miles Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, please begin your cross-examination. Alrighty-dighty. Hello, Iris? Yeah.
Hold it!
What is this inner temple? Well, see, conversing with the spirits is what we train people to do, right? We'll be the ones asking the questions, madame. In order to do that, I place strong spiritual powers in a place of strong spirit. I only had one margarita last night. I can do this. In order to do that, I place strong... God damn! In order to do that, a place strong in spiritual power is required. There's a small temple across Dusky Bridge called the Inner Temple. Acolytes must spend an entire night there to undergo intense training. And how exactly do you help with this process? It is all quite exacting. It can't be performed without a nun supervising. Like a tutor watching to make sure a spoiled child studies. A tutor with a whip, in your case. If that's the case, then why did you return to Hazakura Temple where the murder took place? Well, that's easy. Violently? That's right. It's no laughing matter, especially in winter. I can't hold anything heavier than a knife and fork during the cold months. Just being alive is like strict training. On the night of murder, was this fabulous back of yours hurting again? That's right, raging like a bull in a pig pen. I almost fainted once or twice. I just knew that unless I warmed it up, it was going to finally finish me off. Alright. So I left Iris to help. You left Iris to help with what? What do you think? Acolyte's training, of course. It was just past 10 p.m., so we were starting to enter into the training exercises proper. Wasn't it your place to remain with the disciple? Well, the job is simply to watch over the acolyte so they don't pass away. Just to confirm this point again, that night, you met Iris in the inner temple, correct? Yes, yes. She's a gentle, honest girl. She's never once failed to follow my directions. There's no bath at the end. So you returned to the Hazakura Temple in order to take a bath? My back is to blame for everything. It's a do or be done kind of world after all. How long were you in the bath for, if you don't mind me asking? My, what a filthy little rogue you are. I know what's on your mind. I bet your next question is going to be, where exactly did you wash? Ah, this is why you have to watch the young ones. What are you going on about? I was... Pathetic, Miles Edgeworth. The lowest of the low. Is there some sort of kick-me sign stuck to the defense's bench? Anyway, I couldn't afford to be away from my post for too long, you understand? The crime took place in the courtyard, correct? When you go from my room to the main hall, you have to take a winding hallway from which you can see the courtyard. That's right, in other words. It was pure coincidence that the witness saw the crime taking place before her eyes. There was no complicated setup in this case. That certainly seems to be true. There's indeed only one problem with this testimony. If I can clearly point it out, then I can begin quantifying just how good this witness's memory and observation skills are. Let me look. But I did do that. It says to present Iris's statement. Did I not? I did present her statement, didn't I?
Objection!
I thought I did this. Did I click the wrong thing? Witnesses have to undergo their own trials, I'm afraid. The defendant's fate rests on their power of observation and memory. So I was right. And I'm like, now when I watch this back, I'm gonna have to see if I clicked the wrong thing. I probably did. Well, don't worry, I'm more than up to the task. I'm a woman of faith, after all, the head honcho of Hazakura Temple. In that case, Miss Honcho, I'd like you to explain something for me. The discrepancy between your testimony and that of the defendant, Iris. My nose is itching again. She went back and stayed in... she claims that after ringing the lights out bell, she went back and stayed in her room. Which means she did not go to the inner temple at all. No! She said that? A defendant or a witness? Who is more likely to lie, do you suppose? The defendant is simply lying to cover her back. But that is completely illogical. The murder was committed in the courtyard of Hazakura Temple. Claiming that she went to the inner temple would make for a much better alibi. But that is odd. Whatever the reason, I can't believe that she would lie. She does indeed have honest eyes. All people lie. This is my belief. Why am I the only one being whipped in here? Anyway, neither the witness nor the defendant have any reason to lie, which means we must call your memory into question. Dear. You're older than me and yet you want to play that game, do you? Well, that isn't exactly what My memory is perfect, crystal clear, especially in winter. Then I suppose it's too early to end this cross-examination, eh? Mr. Edgeworth, if you are going to question the memory of this witness, you will need to show me a more decisive piece of evidence. Understood, Your Honor. We have that. Then please add your comments about Iris to testimony. And let us return to the cross-examination. Witness, let's get on this one thing straight. The defendant whom you claim to have met, she was wearing this demon warding hood, correct? Of course, and that is a very important piece of clothing, I'll have you know. Wait a minute.
Objection!
Now, hold it right there. Why do you have that? That's the question of the day now, isn't it, Miss Von Karma? I'll have you know that this hood was given to someone as a gift that night. Before the lights out bell was rung. What? You know where I'm going with this, don't you? If the witness had seen the defendant as she claims, then the iris she saw should have been missing her this very hood. Well, well, well. It's not a bad feeling at all exposing contradictions like this. Now I understand that happy look on Wright's face every time he does it. Order in the court. Witness your response. What? Sister? This hood, you have spare ones around the temple, don't you? Spares? Well, I do tend to make too many of them. I see, a stockpile, a surplus of hoods, eh? Each nun is only given one hood. This should be the only hood that Iris owned. Then this is quite strange. If there was a surplus of hoods, then she could have worn one of those. There's no contradiction here. I'm sorry to break this to you, Miss Von Karma, but you won't get away that easily. Discrepancies such as this will sow seeds in any human heart. The seeds of doubt. Witness, while I don't wish to call your testimony into doubt, you must give every detail with precision. I'm not sure I'm comfortable going along with this. Sister, you shall continue with your testimony. Tell us what you saw after finishing your bath on your way back to the inner temple. The seeds of doubt are sprouting in the judge's heart. They just need a little more stimulation to bear fruit. Contradictory stimulation. I finished my bath around 11 and I thought I should return to the inner temple. And as I was walking back, I heard a noise from the courtyard. I took a look and Iris was, oh, mystic Elise. And with that sword of all things. Mystic Elise was staying in the corner room, which faces out into the courtyard. The stabbing I saw must have occurred after she was pushed out of her window. You saw a truly terrible sight, didn't you? If I was in your place, then it would be much like Miss Von Karma whipping Mr. Edgeworth in two in court. And me seeing it all from this very chair. Or, well, something like that. This judge. His imagination is about as vivid and creative as Detective Gumshoe. I would look a fool if I commented on such foolishness. Anyway, this case is mine, Miss Miles Edgeworth. Calling everyone by their full name. Can't you do something about that habit of yours?
Hold it!
How far is it from your room to the inner temple? Let me think a moment. About 20 minutes on these stumps of mine. It's about 15 minutes to Dusky Bridge from Hazakota Temple. The inner temple is just beyond the bridge. Still, you never made it back there that night, did you? That's right. I was heading along the walkway. Toward the main hall.
Hold it!
You say you heard a noise? Thump, just like that. That could only be the sound of the victim falling. It's very quiet in the temple, you know. You can even hear the snow falling from the branches. Thump, just like that. But then, couldn't this noise you heard have been snow falling to the ground? I never thought of that. The next one to laugh gets a whipping. Well, whatever the source of the sound, I looked over at the courtyard and... It was Iris, mystic Elise, and with that sword of all things. This is the second time that the witness has testified to seeing the defendant. But some doubt remains in these claims. Hey, just what does that mean? Just because you're a good-looking young man doesn't give you the right to. The murderer who stabbed the victim with the sword. Sister Bikini, try to recall exactly who it was you saw as clearly as you can. Well, you're a handsome young man, so I'll forgive you. Oh, now that you mention it, there was something awfully strange about her. Something that has been bugging me all this time. Please, don't keep us in suspense. Her hood! Her hood? That's right, it's coming back to me. She wasn't wearing her hood. I thought something was out of place, but it all makes sense now, doesn't it? After all, she'd given that hood away to someone, right? You dug your own grave, Miles Edgeworth. What do you say, Mr. Edgeworth? Is this important testimony? I should say no, because you know. This line of questioning is only going to tear the wound open further. These statements are as useless as the investigation of a certain detective. There is no need to record them. Very well. Please continue with your testimony.